Welcome to the Smoke Learning channel. Previously, we looked at some of the fundamental concepts and basics using desktop paint. Now let's start putting some of these tools into practice. Our first example is a typical cleanup job. You know the scenario. You've taken the perfect shot only to be ruined by a couple of tourists. So I want to go from this to this. It's not too difficult since it is a static shot, but it requires a bit of work. You can follow along with this video by downloading the media. You will find the link in the YouTube description or type the link displayed in your internet browser. We are going to use desktop paint and then put it all together in ConnectFX. Let's begin. After loading the media into the media library, switch to the Tools tab. This will bring up the desktop tools as well as the thumbnail view. Make sure your folder is visible to the thumbnail view by clicking on the eye icon next to the folder. Click the Paint button and set the expected inputs to front. Click on the horse guard clip to select it and click anywhere in the thumbnail view to place the result clip. So in Paint, you need to scroll through the clip to find the cleanest frame without the tourists. I found that the best frame would be frame 165. So we are only left with the tourists on the edge of the screen. So scroll all the way to the end where the tourists is on the other side of the image, but that region is free to copy from. So I want to save this last frame as a reference to reveal and paint from. Under the image buffer options, click Save. Save stores this frame temporarily in memory so that we can clone and reveal from it. Now scroll back to frame 165. To reveal the saved frame on top of frame 165, you need to enable the reveal mode. Now you tell the paint tools what it will be revealing. Change the reveal source to saved. Essentially, we are revealing the saved frame on top of the current frame. So swipe to the left or right of your screen to minimize the interface. Size your brush by holding the Q button and dragging on the screen. You can also use the pan controls to move the image around the screen. Now go ahead and simply paint them out. This should be a quick fix, and watch out for the subtle shading variations caused by the light. Looking at the rest of the picture, we can clean this up to make a better impression. Let's fix some of the blemishes on the wall. To do this, we'll switch to the Clone tool via the pop-up menu. The difference between the Clone and Reveal in Desktop Paint is that Reveal does not have any offsetting. So the image is revealed pixel accurate on top of itself. Clone, on the other hand, can be offset as one would expect. If you want to clone with an exact pixel offset, you can set the pixel values in the sliders. To do it more visually, hold Ctrl-Shift and click once on the clone reference and once on the clone target. This creates the offset between the two brushes. You might want to make your brush smaller with the Q keyboard shortcut. Now let's go ahead and paint out a few of the marks on the wall. I will also remove some of the bolts poking out of the wall. You can spend as much time as you like cleaning up the image. So now we already have created one clean frame. Since the image is static and nothing is crossing in front of the wall, we just need one frame to do the fix and it's done. Exit the Paint tool and Smoke has created a new source clip in the thumbnail view and media library. This clip consists of all the frames, including the one frame fix. Let's just get a freeze frame of the fixed frame. Click the Repeat button. It is set to repeat the current frame in the clip to make a single freeze frame. Click on the painted clip and click on the desktop to make a result. Now right-click on the frame and choose Rename in the pop-up menu. Rename the freeze frame to Clean Frame. Now the original clip is already edited into a sequence. We will use this freeze frame and ConnectFX to bring everything together. Select the horse guard clip in the sequence and choose the Effects button and add a ConnectFX. In the Media Library, drag the clean frame into the ConnectFX schematic. So we have our two clips, and the first thing to do is isolate the areas with the tourists using masks. Hover over the node bin and press G to bring up the Gmask node. Drag it out of the node bin and drop it onto the connection. Double-click on the Gmask node to bring up the menus. Hover over the result view and press F1 to see the front view and bring up the Gmask tools. Click Add and draw a mask over the left side of the image. A rectangular shape will be fine in this case. You can adjust the control points and tangents to match the shape. And you can add a bit of feathering with the offset slider. Next, we want to click Add again and draw a mask around the right of the image. You need to pay attention as to how you draw this mask because you want to keep the reflections in the sign as well as not intersect the horse's mouth. To finish, you can draw around the outer edge of the image and close the mask. Hover over the result view and press F4 to see the result. So basically, we now have our alpha channel to cut the areas out. Now let's combine everything together. Hover over the node bin and press B to bring up the Blend and Comp node. Drag the Blend and Comp node out of the node bin and place it into the ConnectFX schematic. Connect the clean frame as the main red front input, and connect the Gmask output as the blue alpha channel for the clean frame. Finally, drag a connection from the original clip and connect it into the green background input of the Blend and Comp node. If you select the Blend and Comp node and drag the time bar, you can see how the tourists and blemishes are finally gone. One last step to complete this comp: because we used a still frame, there is no grain movements in the area we fixed. Now you might not notice it in this video, but you will notice it on an HD screen or bigger. So you need to regrain the sections that were fixed. Hover over the node bin and press R for Regrain. Drag the Regrain node out of the node bin and place it after the Blend and Comp node. Ensure you connect the result and alpha from the Blend and Comp node into the Regrain node. Double-click on the Regrain node to bring up its controls. The Regrain tools come with grain profiles, but since this was shot with a digital SLR, there isn't a real grain profile. So instead, we'll sample the grain. Click the result view to select it. Now hold Ctrl-Shift and draw a small rectangular box over a flat-colored area of the image. This will analyze the image and apply grain to that area limited by the alpha. You can adjust it according to your liking. You have successfully extracted the unwanted out of the shot. You can exit ConnectFX and press Render to process the final result. If you would like to see the same challenge again, but using ConnectFX Paint instead of Desktop Paint, please click the link now. More Desktop Paint videos will soon be posted showing the workflows with Paint. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the Smoke Learning channel for future videos.